Hello and welcome back. So this week we've been focusing on the utility room, the drawing room, and what we kind of have earmarked as our guest suite. So guest bedroom and guest bathroom. Work here remains frustratingly slow at times, and yet there is a tangible sense of excitement in the air at the moment because this place is quickly turning back into one house rather than being an odd configuration of 5 tiny flats. The hardest thing by far has been getting professionals to come and give us quotes for work or even just look at things. Sometimes it takes forever just to receive an email back or make a phone call. That's probably been the slowest, most frustrating thing by far. Charlie, purely by chance, found this postcard online for sale of our rectory. So the first thing I said was, we have to buy that. So he purchased it for the princely sum of, I think it was about £3. I think that works out to about $5. So we have that postcard now, and look at this lean-to greenhouse that they had on the house. And our first thought was, oh, well, we need that back. But first of all, we have plenty of space here to put a greenhouse somewhere else. And also, we didn't really want to spoil the kind of silhouette shape of the house, which we really like, by adding that back. So I think we'll leave that off. But it's so interesting that it had that in the past. It's interesting to see the windows, how they haven't changed a lot, but it looks like at some point they've opened at least one of them back up following the window tax, as most of us all know, is the reason they were blocked up to begin with. So thank you ever so much again for coming along with us, and we're going to start in the utility room.
Today we're going to be taking down another false ceiling. If you follow me, I'll show you where it is. This is one of the downstairs flats, and it's the room with the concrete floor. So this room has a really horrible low false ceiling. We're going to just take all of this out. I think way up above it there is actually a sheet of asbestos rather than a nice original ceiling, but we still want to get it raised, even if it means having to get the asbestos to take it out. So that's what we're going to do today. That's it for the plasterboard on the ceiling now. That's all been pulled down. It's all been cleared away. The next two jobs will be getting the insulation down out of that ceiling and then getting the wooden beams down.
Oh, gross. I hate it when it lands on top of my head. Yay!
That's all the insulation material gone now. Just these wooden beams to come out and we'll be done with this ceiling. And that's it for this room for today. We've just got a few more wooden beams to come out from around the edge. But other than that, that's it. And this room just feels so much bigger with that false ceiling removed. And the ceiling above is actually in surprisingly good condition. I thought we were just going to find an asbestos board up there, but there's a whole plastered ceiling, so we might not actually have to do too much more work there.
So this is what I'm rather grandly referring to as the guest suite at the moment, because it has its own stairs, and then you come up and it's got its own little landing, which I think is quite sweet. And then you come into this room here, which we've got earmarked as the main guest bedroom. It's a nice big room and it's got a lovely view out over the garden, and it feels quite quiet and tranquil up here, which is nice. Still so many things to strip out of here. So one of our first jobs for today is taking this stud-work down. And then there's another window here. And I was so excited to look out of here the other day and realise that you can see all the way down the street. And you can actually see the pub from here, which I didn't realise. So I'll take you through to the room next door. So immediately next door, we have this room. It's a much smaller room, but it's still a really nice size. And this is where that fire escape is, which used to be completely blocked in by this wall. That's another job for us that I'm quite eager to get started with today, taking out this stud work, opening it out properly. I really like the shape of that wall. So our idea for this room is to have it as a big guest bathroom, mainly in this part. But then I think it's just nice that guests would have access to the roof terrace through that door. And I think, which might seem odd having that in a bathroom, we did think about having this room as the bedroom instead, but because the other room's so much bigger and it looks over onto the garden, I just think that would be nicer. But then in this corner here, we probably have like a big squishy armchair. This is all very pie in the sky at the moment because this just seems like a long way off having this stuff, but we have to start somewhere. So we're all done in here. I've just had a cursory tidy up, swept up some of the rubble. But look, it's looking so much more open now. Let me show you out onto the roof terrace. So this is what we're calling the roof terrace. I'm not sure it could withstand the weight of like a big table and chairs or something like that. But I am picturing sort of planters out here with some little olive trees or box balls or something in them. And it is quite nice out here. Obviously, this roof needs a lot of TLC and cleaning up. I'm quite looking forward to getting this moss off. I think that's going to be quite a satisfying job. So let's head back on inside. We've still got the ladder there. Not entirely sure what we're going to do with that at the moment. Obviously, we'll take it down, but it's actually quite a nice ladder. I'm sure we can keep it for something. So just to remind you, this is the room that so far we have earmarked for a big guest bathroom, but with the addition of the fire escape out onto the terrace. And for some reason I'm picturing, big armchair or something in that corner. So let's head back next door. So similar story in here. We're all cleared now. All that stud work's taken out. There's still some other little bits and pieces that I need to clear from here, and obviously it needs a really good clean before we're ready for plastering and all that stuff. But we're not far off now. Oh, unfortunately, someone fared less well than us during this, because sadly we found this bird in the very, very long dead, very mummified bird in the wall cavity. Not the wall cavity, the chimney actually. So there used to be a fireplace here. We have listed these floors and seen under there that there was a fireplace hearth. And yeah, sadly we found this little guy in there. That is one of our priorities, to get on and put chimney cowls or cages or whatever you call them over the chimney pots so the birds can't get in. And then just a quick mention about these shutters, which we have on many of the windows. So another priority job is taking all these shutters off, labelling them, and then we'll allocate somewhere as a bit of a shutter hospital to put them to be stripped and then hopefully repaired and refurbished, which hopefully I can do some of the work myself and it won't cost us too much money, because I think the price to get a joiner or a carpenter to remake these would just be horrendous. And then we're back on the little landing. Just excuse the mess. And back to that back staircase. So last time a few of you asked what's behind this door here on that back staircase, and embarrassingly I didn't actually know. I did know, but I'd forgotten. So let me show you. I can get the door open. There we go. So it's just a big eaves cupboard. So that's the eaves in there. And I must say it does look a little bit grim in there. There's going to be all sorts of surprises lurking in there for us, and no doubt we'll have to clear that out and tidy that up at some point. But yeah, that is what's behind that door.
A couple of people have commented on previous videos saying that they noticed there was this trapdoor in the main hallway and wondering what it was. So I thought I'd do a quick video just to show what this is and what's in there. So here it is. It is a trapdoor, but it's not quite a cellar. This opens up to a floor void. It's about a 2-foot space that runs all the way throughout the ground floor of the house. It's full of pipes and cables and dirt. And it'll be really useful for us running in new services and things like that. It's also got ventilation to outside, so it stops the sort of foundations of the house getting damp. And I suppose, even though it's not a cellar, it would be possible in some places to sort of develop it and use it for some kind of storage. But that's it, that's what's under there.
I won't talk about this room for too long, because in the previous video Charlie spoke about this room at some length. So I'll just give you a summary of what we've done so far. Stripped all of the walls of their lining paper, taken off the old skirting boards, and then removed the newer brick fireplace. And I think you can see possibly the silhouette of where the original fire surround would have come to. And as you would have seen in the previous video, we found some really interesting stuff in this room. This room is like a bit of a time capsule. So the only other job I have to do today is clean the ceiling and the ceiling rows, because you can't tell from the video, but there's probably about 40 years worth of just dirt and grime on that ceiling. But I will show you back the videos of us working on this room, because it's taken a long time, but we're nearly at the stage of it being more of a blank canvas and ready for us to plan the plumbing and electrics and new fireplace in. And then it's a case of replastering and redecorating. I will show you one more interesting thing I found. So at some point we've had some, not since we've been here, but at some point in history, I think some squirrels have gotten into these walls, because I found all of these nuts in this wall cavity, acorns. Oh, and one looks like a hazelnut. And I did find, I don't think I can find it now, it looked like a little piece of squirrel bone. Don't ask me which bone exactly, but so yeah, all kinds of interesting bits and bobs in this room. So I'm just using a little cotton round dipped in a solution of warm water with a little whisper of washing up liquid and disinfectant in there, just to get into all the details of the agapanthus leaf of this ceiling rose. There's probably a better way of doing this, but this is what works for me.
Oh, since she's here, I might as well introduce her. This is Blossom, our cat, and she'll be coming to live with us at the rectory when we're finally ready to move in.